Some of the biggest mistakes I've made in my watch collecting journey so far. Welcome to Wristies. And if you've Googled that and you've ended up here, this is not what it seems, so get out of here. Unless you like watches, you can stay. In this video, I'm going to introduce myself and my watch journey so far. It's very new. I'm going to tell you how, in fact, I lost a Rolex Air King and a Rolex Daytona. This channel is going to come from a place of learning, not that much experience. This is going to be a journey together about building, hopefully, a lifelong insane watch collection. And I've already started, which I will share in other videos. Okay, let's start with me. My name's Jackson. I'm a singer-songwriter. I've been in the entertainment industry for 10 years plus. I remember me and my friend Gab set out each other a goal, like when we hit this milestone, we'll buy each other a Rolex, because we were both obsessed with Rolexes. And at that point, I didn't know any other watches even existed. So there we go. Walking into a lot of the Rolex stores in America, I wanted a Datejust. You know, I didn't do that much research. I also didn't know in Australia, you can barely walk into a Rolex shop and you can't just walk out with one. Brand new ones, there's waiting lists 2, 3 years, 7 years for more desired ones. Little did I know that it wasn't that easy just to get a Rolex. So let's talk about my first watch and the title of the video, how I lost a Rolex Daytona. Makes me sad just thinking about it. Oh boy. 2.5 years ago, I got out of one of my record deals and I signed with another label, and the A&R at the label was really into watches. A vintage Daytona came up, I was shown it, and it was secondhand, pre-owned. I didn't know anything about, you know, original boxes, original papers, which will bring me to the first point of mistakes I've made this early in my watch collecting journey. We'll get to that in 1 second. But I didn't know the significance of the watch. I didn't know it was some people's end watches. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna spend 20 grand on this secondhand watch. And someone said it's a great deal, so I just did it. I didn't know nothing about it. I tried it on, I absolutely loved it, and I did love it. It made me feel like a superhero. I just remember that feeling of having it on. I was just looking at it, and to be honest, I don't regret anything, but it just grew my love for watches so much, and I'm obsessed at this point. Anyway, this brings me to lesson 1, the first mistake I made in my journey so far, and what I would now probably do instead. For those of you who don't know, when you're buying secondhand or off the grey market or something, you wanna make sure that the watch is authentic, so you wanna get a trusted source or a dealer, so have people vouch for them. I had a lot of people vouch for this guy who I bought it from. I just bought another watch from him recently, so he's a good dude. But he had a vintage Daytona, I think it was 1997, two-tone, the last Daytona with the Zenith movement in it. It was a significant piece, and I got it for about 18,000. Hence the price. It didn't come, or it came with its box, but it didn't come with authentication papers or anything. And I was just basically going off the word of the guy, which I trusted him, and it was real. If I was now going back, I always make sure I buy watches, box and papers are a must for me. I do recommend new collectors, just for peace of mind and safety, just go after watches if you're buying secondhand that have the papers and the box. So now I'm in the game, and I'm in the game in a big way. I've just jump frogged all entry watches and I've gone straight to a Daytona, like an idiot. I didn't know I was an idiot yet. I just thought I was a bloody legend. Let's go. I've got a sick watch. I loved it. I treated it like my child. I put it next to my bed, a nice little case for it. You know, I absolutely loved it. I wore it everywhere. I wore it every single day. The love and my watch obsession and journey began. So I joined all these Facebook groups, looking through them every day. Kind of wanted another watch I could have that was more of an entry level that I could wear more, so I wasn't worried about someone just stabbing me in the face and stealing my watch. So an Air King came up, blue face. It was 1993, my birth year. And that for me was a sign. And as I said before, I'm the most impulsive person ever, so I bought it. Bought the Air King. I think it was 5 or 6 grand, 6 or 7 grand. 1993 Air King, beautiful condition. I loved it, but it was a bit tight on the wrist. I didn't get the extra link put in. I don't know why, because I think of my ADHD. But yeah, so I've got a two-tone Daytona and a silver with a blue face Rolex Air King from 1993. Amazing start. And this brings me to the main point of the video, the biggest mistake that I've learned so far while watch collecting. Don't buy watches that you can't afford. And by that I mean, I had the money in the bank, obviously I paid for it, great. But being in the industry I am in music, it's a very up and down industry, and I always just thought, you know, whatever, I'll spend my money. And I'm still like that. But I skipped the whole like building a collection from scratch, buying like a $500 nice watch, or buying my first Swiss watch, and I'm talking cheaper, or like an entry level Swiss watch. I missed all that fun stuff of like finding little gems and finding watches that I love that don't cost a fortune and all this stuff. Like you don't have a car on your wrist every time. So I missed all that. And now looking back, it kind of makes me a bit sad, but that's why I've started the journey again. And that's why we're starting to build this collection from scratch. So yeah, back to the point. Bloody hell, my ADHD is flying off the radar at the moment. Back to the point. Don't buy watches you can't afford. I needed to go to Sweden for songwriting. So I had a rough little year for music. Nothing really went that well. But I had these 2 watches. So I'm like, you know what? I convinced myself that I didn't really love my Daytona. I'm more of a silver man, which I absolutely loved it. So I sold them. I sold them back. I did not lose any money on them, which also grew my love for watches, because if you are smart and you pick the right ones, you're not really gonna lose money on it. So sold the watches, both of them, got the money to go on the trip, and then basically just wore my Apple Watch, I know, for about 7 or 8 months. And I wanted to get back into watches. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of come talk about my 2 biggest mistakes so far. So looking back on it, 1, always buy with box and papers, just for peace of mind, and you never know who's selling you something. Make sure your watch dealer, if you're buying secondhand, can be vouched for, or just go buy from, you know, a good dealer or a secondhand shop in the city like Watches of Switzerland or Swiss Emporium if you're in Melbourne. There's a lot. Just make sure. 2, don't bite off more than you can chew. That's what I did, and I've learned from it, and now we've started again. Anyway, thanks for watching the first video of Wristies. I'll be back with many more. Subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys next time. Deuces. I just wanna roll it with a dab ranch. I already got something that is to hold up my pants.